Let's start with our first news. Arman says he will stay ready just in case he is needed for June 14th. He has already been offered another RAF match for the end of May, but plans to keep his schedule clear for the following month. He believes he may have to wait for the outcome of the upcoming lightweight title unification bout before his next UFC move becomes clear. Although Arman has claimed he could be the backup fighter for the White House main event, he is not convinced this opportunity will actually happen. He also explained that he doubts Justin Gaethje will withdraw from his fight with Ilya. In a video with Adam Zubairev, Arman said he has not thought too much about it because it has not happened. He added that Gaethje rarely pulls out of fights and usually shows up to collect his money and finish his career strong. Arman believes Gaethje knows these are likely his final fights and will take every opportunity to earn big money and exit the sport. He also referenced that Ilya once said he would fight Arman if the UFC called due to an injury withdrawal for the June 14th event. The Armenian fighter previously joked in an April Fool's tease about stepping in for an injured opponent in that matchup. While the White House card is expected to feature elite fighters with strong reliability records, Arman still doubts he will get the chance. He agrees that Gaethje has never pulled out in his UFC career, and that makes a withdrawal highly unlikely, unless serious injury happens and forces him out completely. Still, Arman remains ready and focused on staying prepared for any sudden UFC opportunity that may come his way in June or beyond without hesitation or distraction. Stay ready. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has shut down ongoing boxing rumors, making it clear that he has no intention of switching sports anytime soon. The UFC heavyweight champion has been repeatedly linked with a move from MMA to boxing over the past few years, but he continues to dismiss the speculation. Recently, Tom Aspinall added more attention to the discussion after signing a deal with boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, who will now act as his advisor moving forward. Despite this, Aspinall insists the partnership does not signal a change of sport, and instead is focused on expanding his overall career options. Speaking during a recent trip to Croatia, Aspinall was asked once again about the possibility of transitioning into boxing. The 33-year-old also revealed that he has added former WBA light heavyweight champion Stipe Dervis to his team last year, bringing valuable experience into his corner. However, Aspinall made it clear that Dervis's role is strictly focused on helping him improve inside MMA, not preparing him for a full switch to boxing. He emphasized that his current priorities remain fully within the UFC and the heavyweight division. When asked directly about boxing, Aspinall said, "Maybe," referring to whether Dervis could offer some crossover benefits, but he quickly followed up by shutting down the idea of a transition. "To be honest, I ain't thinking about boxing that much right now," he stated. "No, I've got more stuff to do with the UFC." Aspinall's comments reinforce his commitment to the UFC, where he continues to build his legacy as one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the sport. While outside opportunities and discussions continue to circulate, the champion insists his focus remains locked on defending his UFC title and competing at the highest level inside the octagon. He made it clear that any future decisions will come later, but for now, his attention is entirely on MMA, competition, and his ongoing run in the UFC heavyweight division. Despite constant speculation from fans and media, Aspinall remains focused on training camps, improving his striking, and defending his position at the top of the heavyweight division. He believes consistency inside the UFC is more important than chasing crossover opportunities. For now, boxing remains nothing more than external talk, while his real goals stay firmly inside the octagon with championship ambition driving every step forward, going forward in his career path ahead strongly. Move on to another news. Paulo Costa. Issues chilling. Warning to Khamzat. Over potential light heavyweight move. UFC 327 marked a strong return to form for Paulo Costa. The Brazilian standout delivered a statement performance on the same card, knocking out Azamat Murzakanov and snapping his 16-0 undefeated streak. The emphatic win propelled Costa into the top 10 of the light heavyweight rankings, a notable shift after spending most of his career competing at middleweight. While Costa has expressed willingness to drop back down to 185 pounds for a potential title clash with Khamzat, he also issued a stark warning about what could happen if the middleweight champion decides to move up to 205 pounds instead. For the unversed, Costa has been trading shots with Khamzat ever since their planned fight at UFC 294 got scrapped back in October 2023. More recently, speculation around Khamzat moved to light heavyweight gained traction after rumors linked him to a potential fight against Jiří Procházka for the vacant gold. Khamzat further fueled the buzz with a cryptic 205 post on X in February, hinting at a possible division jump. The undefeated star has also repeatedly called out Alex Pereira for a showdown at light heavyweight, suggesting the long-discussed move may not be far off. However, Dana White quickly shut down those talks, confirming that Khamzat will instead defend his middleweight title against Sean Strickland at UFC 328. That hasn't stopped Costa from sending a clear message to his rival. Speaking to Submission Radio, he said, "I wish he comes to 205. I'm going to be here with my arms open, waiting for him." Costa doubled down on his confidence, warning that things could go badly for Khamzat in the heavier division. He added, "Oh man, this is going to be even worse for him. On 205, I'm a monster, you know? I don't need to burn any muscle. I don't need to sacrifice any muscle for my body to make 185. At 205, I have full secret juice power. Yeah, that's going to be tragic for him." Tragic. Costa remains focused on staying active in the UFC and believes his power and size at 205 pounds could change everything if the opportunity arrives inside the octagon. With both fighters circling each other across divisions, tensions continue to rise as fans wait for a potential clash that could define the future of the division statement. Ends move on to another. Kamaru Usman has suggested a highly intriguing matchup for Khamzat potential light heavyweight debut, sparking major discussion across the MMA world. Speaking on his Pound for Pound podcast, Usman broke down the current situation in the division and pointed out how quickly things could shift depending on upcoming title movements and injuries. He noted that Carlos Ulberg could be sidelined for up to a year, which in his view opens the door for major UFC adjustments at the top of the light heavyweight division. With that in mind, Usman suggested that the UFC should consider booking Khamzat against Magomed Ankalaev in a massive high-stakes matchup. According to Usman, the fight could even be positioned as an interim title bout, or potentially upgraded to an undisputed championship fight if the UFC decides to strip the current champion due to inactivity. He emphasized that Khamzat has been talking about moving up for a long time, and that the timing may finally align with opportunity. Usman explained that Khamzat is still active in his current division, with a title defense expected very soon. He pointed out that if Khamzat successfully defends his belt and then chooses to move up, the UFC would be left with a major decision to make regarding the status of the division. He said that if Ulberg is out for 9 to 12 months, the UFC cannot afford to let the division remain stagnant. In that case, Usman believes it becomes simple business. Either create an interim title or vacate the belt and move forward with fresh challengers. He directly pitched the idea, saying Khamzat against Magomed is the kind of fight that makes perfect sense at that moment in time. He added, "Sure, why not?" showing clear enthusiasm for the potential matchup. The discussion quickly picked up energy as others reacted to the idea. One response highlighted how sharp Usman's analysis was, joking about how his prediction was starting to make a lot of sense. The excitement continued as the matchup was described as a firefight and an incredible stylistic clash. Even outside analysts weighed in, with Joe Rogan noting that he does not see anyone currently capable of stopping Khamzat, further adding fuel to the hype surrounding a potential move up in weight and a possible title run in a new division at light heavyweight. Move on to another news. Justin Gaethje is heading into the biggest fight of his career at the UFC White House event on June 14th. And he has made his intentions clear. Fans are going to get exactly what they always get from him: the interim lightweight. Champion and two-time interim title holder is set to face Ilya for the undisputed lightweight championship on the South Lawn of the White House in Washington, D.C. It is one of the most unique and high-profile events ever planned in UFC history. Speaking with Bloody Elbow via DualBits, Gaethje addressed the magnitude of the moment and made it clear that his approach will not change, no matter the stage or pressure surrounding the event. "I understand what this moment represents," Gaethje said. "Fighting on a stage like that, in front of that kind of audience, it's an unbelievable experience. I'm proud to represent where I come from, no doubt about that. Every time I step in there, I carry that with me. At the end of the day, the best thing I can do for everyone watching is go out there and perform the way I know. That's always been my approach, giving everything to the fans, to the sport, and my family and people." Gaethje has built his UFC career on relentless action, winning 15 performance bonuses across his appearances, a record that highlights his reputation as one of the most exciting fighters in the sport. His style has made him a fan favorite and a guaranteed attraction on any card. Despite ongoing speculation that the White House fight could potentially be his final appearance, regardless of the result, Gaethje firmly pushed back on any retirement talk and made it clear he is fully focused on the fight ahead. He also responded to criticism about the overall UFC White House card, defending the lineup and emphasizing the depth of talent involved. It's a stacked card from top to bottom. You've got a mix of elite fighters, different styles, big personalities. That's what makes nights like this special. It's not just one fight that makes people tune in, it's the whole experience. I think every guy on that card understands the opportunity in front of them. Being part of something this big brings out the best in any fighter. In the end, I am sure the fans would love the experience and will remember the White House event for a long time. UFC Freedom 250 is scheduled for June 14th on the South Lawn of the White House in Washington, D.C., streaming live on Paramount Plus. Move. On to another news. UFC reportedly has big plans for Conor and Islam Makhachev, with major fight announcements expected as the promotion moves closer to finalizing its summer schedule. The upcoming stretch could become one of the most significant in recent UFC history, especially with the new Paramount Plus partnership potentially delivering a massive boost in global attention. The UFC is preparing to return to Las Vegas for its annual International Fight Week, a long-standing tradition where MMA fans from around the world gather at and around the T-Mobile Arena. The week is designed to celebrate combat sports as a whole, featuring fan events, media appearances, and culminating in a major pay-per-view card. That event will conclude with UFC 329 on Saturday, July 11th, and according to reporting from Ariel Helwani, it could feature the long-awaited return of Conor, who has not competed since July 2021. His last appearance ended in a devastating leg injury during his trilogy bout with Dustin Poirier at UFC 264, where he suffered a stoppage loss. Sources close to the situation have indicated that Conor's comeback is being targeted for that date, with a potential rematch against former UFC BMF champion Max Holloway reportedly being discussed. The matchup would mark a massive return for Conor after years of recovery, rehabilitation, and speculation about his fighting future. Helwani's report also lines up with recent activity from Conor on social media, where his Instagram posts have shown him actively training and preparing, fueling further belief that a return announcement could be imminent. Fans have been closely monitoring every update as anticipation continues to build. Adding further weight to the speculation, UFC CEO Dana White recently gave an interview with New York City street reporter Adam Glynn, where discussions around major summer plans and returning stars were brought into focus. While no official announcement has been made, the timing of all these developments has intensified expectations that major news is on the way. At the same time, Islam Makhachev is also expected to play a key role in the UFC's summer plans, with potential title implications and major fight bookings being explored alongside Conor's rumored return. If finalized, the combination of both stars on the same seasonal stretch could make this one of the most impactful periods in UFC history, reshaping multiple divisions and delivering huge global attention to the sport. Move on to another news, Joe. Rogan has made a bold claim saying he doesn't see anyone stopping Khamzat right now. Speaking on a recent episode of his podcast, Rogan broke down Khamzat's upcoming matchup with Sean Strickland, highlighting the elite-level wrestling, pressure, and overall grappling dominance that continues to define his rise inside the UFC. Rogan emphasized that Khamzat's ability to control opponents on the ground, chain wrestling, and impose constant pressure makes him one of the most difficult fighters to deal with in modern MMA. He suggested that right now, the momentum and skill set are simply overwhelming for most challengers in the division. At the same time, Brendan Schaub is urging fans to stop criticizing the UFC White House card. Speaking on a recent episode of his Thick Boy podcast, Schaub defended the event strongly and described it as a major success, calling on MMA fans to separate politics from sport and focus on the historic nature of the show. He explained that this is the kind of spectacle that will likely never happen again, calling it a once-in-a-lifetime moment for combat sports. He said fans should appreciate the scale of the event instead of getting caught up in outside debates. Schaub added that people are forgetting the journey the sport has taken to reach this level of mainstream attention, pointing out how UFC events now air on massive platforms and are staged at historic venues like the White House. He argued that this moment represents growth that many once fought for. He continued by criticizing those who, in his view, are letting personal bias affect their enjoyment of the sport. He said fans and analysts who once pushed for MMA to go mainstream should not now turn against the very events that represent that success. Shab also compared it to broader entertainment choices, saying people consume content they don't fully agree with all the time, yet still appreciate the bigger picture. He stressed that the White House event is something that cannot be replicated again. Meanwhile, Paulo Costa has also been drawing attention after looking like a completely different force at light heavyweight. The Brazilian recently shared new, sparring footage showing him overwhelming his training partner with raw, brutal power, signaling a dangerous new version of himself as he prepares for the next stage of his UFC career.